Hello, everybody. It is Friday, July the 5th, 2024, and it's time for a brand new episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to give you a recap of this year's National Fun Fly.
We'll also talk about what's currently happening at the IAC, the 2024 Nats.
And we're going to preview AirVenture, this year's EAA AirVenture, and all the activities that we're going to have going on there. All that and more coming up today on AMA Air. Well, happy Independence Day weekend, everybody. It is time for a brand new episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
Hi, guys. I'm Lee Ray.
Lee,
Safe
you
and
made
back
it
home in
back
Texas.
home.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
We got to see you late last week here, or this past weekend at the National Fun Fly. It was good to see you and Fitz and Terry and all the stuff you guys had going on. So thanks for coming.
We all had buddies come with us, so we brought a couple extra pilots to hang out with us and had a great time.
Awesome. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. But first, we wanted to briefly touch on the fact that we had an unfortunate passing in our community here this past week. Bob Underwood, who is a former executive director here at the AMA, as well as so many accomplishments, it's hard to even name them all here in our hobby. He passed away just this past week, and we wanted to bring on our current executive director, Chad Boudreau, to talk a little bit about Bob. So, Chad, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for bringing me on and giving me the time. And for those who don't know Bob Underwood, as you mentioned, he sat in this seat. He was a past executive director. He served on the executive council. He was an AVP, a CD, technical director, founder of NASA, the National Association of Scale Aeromodelers. He's done just about everything you could think of to grow this hobby. He advocated on our behalf in DC. He championed for frequencies and established the Large Model Airplane program. But you know, he was an educator by trade, and some of his other achievements include launching our education arm here at the AMA. He chaired and formed the education committee, and we now have a whole team getting models into the classrooms of kids all across the country. And I think it was appropriate for the staff and foundation to honor Bob at the most recent National Fun Fly that I think you two will be talking about soon. And we encourage members at the flying field, to put a flight in for Bob and to thank Bob for growing this hobby and making this hobby what it is. His impact will make a positive benefit for generations to come. And I'm happy to share that at the last DC meeting, the executive council agreed, and they made a motion to honor Bob in all future National Fun Fly. So it will be the Bob Underwood National Fun Fly. So in that spirit, Bob, wherever you're at, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done, and we'll put a flight in for you.
Yeah, it's almost an understatement to say that Bob did so much for this hobby, and you mentioned kind of starting up the education arm of the AMA. He was technical director for many years. He was the executive director, and that's just on the AMA level. Forget the international level of things that he worked on and contributed to. A couple of years ago, we got to sit down with Bob here at AMA HQ, and we interviewed him for I think just over 2 hours, and we're going to be putting that video. We're going to go through that and kind of start putting that out in sections and whatnot, so you guys can hear Bob's story directly from him. I think that'll be a nice tribute to him. But Bob was just such a great guy. I only got to spend a little bit of time with him, but he was an incredible wealth of knowledge when it comes to aeromodeling.
I'd give him a call as executive director, and I learned what a valuable resource he was. And every time I called, no matter what the question was, I was surprised. Not only did he know the answer, he knew the answers to my follow-up questions before I even asked. And he was always eager to help. And for those who talked to Bob, I'm surprised the video was only a couple hours. He has so much knowledge and stories to share. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that we'll start leaking out some of that footage.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chad, thank you for coming on to talk about Bob. And we wanted to try to do something here on the show this week to honor him and to let everybody know kind of his story, and that we're going to get some more information out about him. And it's very sad, but it's also really nice that we can talk about Bob and can honor him the way that we can. So thank you so much, Chad, for coming on the show to talk a little bit about him.
Thank you.
Well, as Chad mentioned, the National Fun Fly is going to be named in honor of Bob Underwood moving forward. So that's kind of a good transition to start kind of recapping what happened this past weekend here at the International Aeromodeling Center. The National Fun Fly was held. It was kind of a revamped and a renewed National Fun Fly this year. We had a whole lot more activities going on. We even had the RC Roundtable here on site the
infamous
to enjoy
RC
the
Roundtable. Exactly.
Yeah, you know what? That probably works. I'll take that. I'll go with that. But we're going to talk a little bit about the National Fun Fly and our experiences here. But before we do, we want to throw to a quick video to show you some of the sights and sounds of this year's National Fun Fly. And then Lee and I will talk about it on the other side.
Play it again. I want to see it again.
Well, I'll tell you, if you missed it, you missed out, because we had such a great time here at the National Fun Fly. The weather couldn't keep us down. Even though we had a little bit of rain in the morning, we still got a lot of activity in during the afternoon. Lee, you made the drive all the way from Texas up here to the National Fun Fly. Tell us a little bit about your experience and what you had going on and the excitement that you felt.
We came, we saw, we built planes, we flew them in the rain, had a great time. There was so much to do, and I'm glad that you and Bryce were able to capture a lot of that content there, because I was at Site 3 almost all day, Friday and Saturday, and Sunday, because we were out there before we left. We picked up my trailer. But it was a blast. Yeah, the weather was, they kind of hampered some things, and we had a dead crosswind across the runway. So, plywood overcast. I'm not sure if it's in the photos, but, that thing is wonky. It was weird to take off, but we got it in the air. I got Randy Cameron on the sticks. He got to fly plywood overcast
Nice.
and got to sign his name to it. So it was a great time. And as Terry Dunn, who's in the room, he said good times. Each of us brought a buddy with us. Oh, and there's Brett Becker. Brett was there too to come over. Adam was there. There are so many people. Joe Vermillion was there. Aaron, who was Terry's friend, was there. I brought my son Austin. We brought Mike Leibel, who had the beautiful B-24 there, and that was special for him because I know he was kind of nervous with the crosswind, but once he nailed it, I mean, the second two flights, were awesome. Got some great photos of it. Big smile on his face. I think that right there, you talk about the kids shooting the model rocket and stuff. You saw how happy they were.
Yeah.
You should have gotten a photo of Mike Leibel with the smile on his face flying that B-24, because that's what it's like. That's the youth that comes out of you. But we had a great time. And then when the rains did, arrive, we went to the museum. And there were tons of people in there enjoying a great time. In fact, I remember Mike saying, I wish I had stayed longer, And that's the thing. The museum is one of those trips that you need to spend a couple of hours in there just to grasp it all. And Michael was there giving tours. So I probably could have used a lecture on some of the history of those aircraft and engines that were in there. But, and you know what? I wish I had gone to Site 1 to do the model rockets. I'm sure it was interesting with the winds, but those kids looked like they were having a blast.
They were, so for me, the cool part about this year's event was the community focus and the focus on the general public coming in and experiencing flight for the first time. We've had the National Fun Fly for a few years, and what you guys had going on at Site 3 was very typical of what the Fun Fly has been in the past, which was a lot of folks coming in, having a great time flying their models. What was really cool and special this year for me was the additions that we made. So the bringing in the model rocket guys, bringing in model RC car guys. We brought in RC boats. We had make and takes stations set up over at Site 1 for free flights. So two guys over there, I got to shout them out real quick. Doyle Blevins, who's normally in the chat. He's normally watching the show. I'm not sure if he's here with us today, but he was over there helping kids build their first free flight airplanes, as well as Bob Seifleet, who is if you guys don't know his name, just a world-renowned free flight competitor. I don't know how many world championships this guy has got under his belt, but I know it's more than a couple. So they were there on hand, hands-on with these kids, showing them how to build their first free flight models and then going out and flying those. There was so much of that going on, people getting their first experiences in flight. That was the cool thing for me. That was the thing for me that it was so special about this event. And like I said, it rained a little bit in the morning, but we got to get out there and actually have some real fun in the afternoon. And I don't know, we're still waiting to hear back on official numbers. I'm hearing it was well north of 500 visitors that day, which is really awesome. We're really glad to hear that. Again, we haven't heard the official number. We're waiting to get that tally, but we just had a great time. And you guys have seen from the pictures and the video we showed earlier, there was a lot of fun to be had, a lot of people having a great time, and we're thankful for everybody that got to come out and share in the fun with us.
Well, and let's not forget Kyle Jarris brought his team of paramotor guys on Site 4, which we enjoyed because they were flying, at dusk too with their lit up, parachutes. And there's a video clip of my son who recorded Kyle flying by on the grass there. And then also the biplane ride. Let's not forget that, because Terry went with Aaron and Austin in the biplane, and they said it was a blast.
I'm a little bummed. I wanted to do that really bad, and I just didn't have the time. I was too busy, going around and taking photos and things. But I feel like I missed out. I wanted to take that biplane ride.
I forgot what Terry said about feeling the wind hit your face, but he said it was hard.
I think I was there when he said that. Yeah.
But we had a great time. I hope that those who attended got your Fun Fly shirt. By the way, I'm going to put in the chat room right now the infamous, as we said earlier, RC Roundtable Gang. We recorded a video there at Site 3 of our experience of the show. So I hope you tune in to watch that 30-minute little video. Talks about what we saw, the planes that we liked, or things that happened, so you can get the inside scoop. And I hope that those of you who are watching who did not get to come this year will come next year. Put it on your schedule. It's a blast. Make your reservations now.
Yeah, we'll be, I'm not sure when we're announcing the dates for next year, so that hopefully will be soon, so you guys start making your plans. But I know that we're going to be ramping up for next year's National Fun Fly. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully a little less rain next year, but that's okay. Like I said, we got through it this year. It was fine.
We did. I mean, as soon as it stopped, we were back in the air.
I think some of them were back in the air before it stopped.
Yeah.
There might have been a couple guys that were like, "Nah, I can fly through this. It'll be fine."
I know that person. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, guys, the National Fun Fly, that was last weekend, but this weekend, some other things are happening as we've already begun the 2024 NATS. The National Aeromodeling Championships started this week. The indoor section of the NATS is already well underway out in Idaho. We've got all the news that you can get on the indoor NATS right now over at NATS News. You can go to nats.modelaircraft.org and check that out. We've got photos. modelaircraft.org/NATS. Both of those will work for the record. So sorry, I got it wrong, but only sort of. We got photos and articles up there for NATS News, telling you all about what's been going on over at the indoor NATS. And then starting this week here at the IAC in Muncie, Indiana, we've got the outdoor NATS beginning. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm super pumped because that's my favorite time of year when I get to go out and hang out with all of the competitors at NATS, take some photos, kind of watch some of the competition. And again, if you guys want to follow along with the NATS and all the news and results, you can go to modelaircraft.org/NATS and check out NATS News.
Pylon starts Sunday.
Yes.
Mosquitoes start Sunday.
Yes. Boy, you're not wrong. This is going to be a real busy season because not only do we have the NATS, but we've got the Control Line World Championships happening right on the tail end of it. It's going to be a busy few weeks here in Muncie. Lee, it's a bummer you can't be here with us. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I've got other places to go in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that a little later in the show.
Yeah, for sure. So as we mentioned, the indoor free flight NATS is already taking place. And Lee, there was a story that came out, and you can read a little bit about it, I think, on the NATS News. But I think it showed up in the IFlyAMA Facebook group. There was a TSA mishap, was there not?
Yeah, I'm going to share that screen with you guys right now. If you're on Facebook, it's a great place to get information. The Indoor Free Flight has their own page. And I came across this post from Joshua Finn, good friend of ours in the free flight. And when you see the word help, you got to read further. You got to read further into it. So one of our former Camp AMA students, Stephen Griggs, is participating in indoor free flight. And I don't know if you could see this photo, and I wish I had the before photo in here of what it should look like. But this is not what your box should look like if you're shipping it or taking it with you to. It's usually a two-wall box, clear front and back, a handle on top, and TSA decided to dismantle it for some unknown reason, put it through the x-ray machine. I don't know the details. All I know is that the help that went out there was saying, hey, we have this problem. One of our pilots, their plane was destroyed. Can you guys help? And guys, just looking at the comments, 63 comments, people putting it in here. there you go. You can see some of what they should look like. Here you go on the right of the screen here.
Yeah.
This is what it's supposed to look like. His got poorly damaged. But you know what? People chimed in and people came to, and I think David Lindley right here, love this line. We will handle it on this end. Look at that. They came through and helped Stephen get his plane back together. This is what the competition is all about. It's not against, I'm going to win. It's all about me. It's all about each other. It's helping each other. Same thing for any competition. And the same thing I felt when I was in RC soaring. People are wanting to help you succeed. Yep. And so I just want to give a shout out to the Indoor Free Flight group for doing this, looking for people to help out. They came through and Stephen was able to compete. So good job, guys.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I've mentioned this on the show, I feel like 100 times, but I'll keep mentioning it every single time I need to. The amount of integrity and respect that we see in this hobby among competitors. People who you would think, you know what, good, that's one less person I got to compete against. No, that's never the mentality. It's always, no, let's get him back in the air because we want to compete against each other. We want to have fun. We want everybody to have that experience. And seeing what these guys did on the biggest stage, we're talking about the Nats, the National Aeromodeling Championships, and they're saying, no, we're going to get this guy back in the air. And they did, and that's incredible. I absolutely love hearing about that kind of story.
Yeah.
Well, again, guys, the Nats is going on right now. The indoor Nats is taking place. The outdoor Nats is starting again, I think, on Sunday. Sunday the 7th. That's in 2 more days. Pylon is going to be kicking off the outdoor portion of the Nats here in Muncie. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You guys need to make sure you head over to modelaircraft.org/Nats to stay up to date on all the Nats news coming out of this year's National Aeromodeling Championships. I think I covered it all. It's going to be running through August the 9th, so we've got a whole month of Nats news for you coming up. Lee, did I miss anything? I think I got it all right.
No, you got it all, and just stay tuned on our social media. We'll be posting the news, the net news from every discipline on our site, our Facebook page, so to take a look at that and follow up, go to modelaircraft.org/Nats. You'll get all your information.
Absolutely. Well, Lee, there's another event coming up. You teased it a minute ago that I know, are getting very excited about. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this year's AirVenture?
Oh, I love AirVenture. So go to EAA.org, Experimental Aircraft Association. They have their big event every year, AirVenture. It's 16 days, 18 hours, 36 minutes away and counting. I will be there. I'm bringing my whole family. Terry and Fitz will be there. Our main job is to handle the RC flying site at Pioneer Runway. But if you've never been, this has to be in one of your top 3 bucket lists. It is the most amazing event. So yes, it's not necessarily all model aircraft, but we do fly model airplanes there. There's a theme there. And we will also have the RC sim trailer out there by Ultralights, and Kyle Jarris's and Gwen and their education team will be out there doing UAS for STEM, which they just let me know there are 11 teams competing this year at AirVenture, which is amazing. These are high school, college teams from all over competing there. What an incredible competition this is. So looking forward to participating and seeing what these kids have put together for their tasks. And something that's special for me is the Blue Barn, which is the Young Eagles Eagle chapter location, but we talk about young Eagles and how we can get them into aviation. Well, the AMA, Horizon Hobby, Old School Model Works, and we get together to teach these kids how to build model aircraft. And by learning to do that, they realize how they can build full-scale aircraft. And it's to me, it's a great process of going from point A to point B, which is your pilot's license, and learning the model stuff first. And every conversation I've had there is great. So again, can't wait to go out there. It's coming soon. It's right around the corner. If you want more information, go to eaa.org/airventure. And if you want to fly, you can come bring your RC electric airplane. I think the weight limit is 6 pounds. I'm not sure if we changed that, but I think it's 6 pounds or less, from roughly 6 to 8 o'clock or till it's too dark. It changes all the time depending on the clouds. But from 6 to 8, it's Monday through Thursday. Friday, I think, is open, but I think we may have some times where we shut down the runway for some other events. Wing is sponsoring the RC flying at Pioneer Runway. They'll have a drone demonstration going on. That should be fun. I know they have little prizes and stuff for kids in the packages, so you don't want to miss that. And if you have any questions, just let us know. You can contact me, because I'll tell you all about it. I love it. Lee Ray at modelaircraft.org. Fun times, man.
You know, if you've ever wanted to be able to say, yeah, I flew at the world's largest air show, all you got to do is just bring your model to the Pioneer Runway and get to go up and say, yeah, I got to fly at AirVenture. If you've never been to AirVenture, it's so insanely incredible. You know, when you talk about thousands, literally thousands of aircraft in one location, again, if you've not been there, it needs to be on your bucket list. Make it a point to go. It's incredible. I mean, it's hard to even describe it.
It's called the world's busiest control tower in the world during AirVenture.
And there's a reason.
I haven't, the funny thing is I'm just talking to you about the stuff we're doing. If you're a pilot, you already know about AirVenture, there is, 99% more stuff to do out there by walking the flight lines, looking at warbirds, looking at vintage, going to the forums. If you've never been, you need to start by going to the website or going to YouTube, look up some of the videos, the highlight reels. It is amazing. And my little advice for you guys here, again, if you haven't been, Wednesday and Saturday are fireworks shows. You do not want to miss them. Both of my sons have said it is the best fireworks show they have ever seen, because not only are they coming from the ground, but the aircraft are shooting off fireworks too. And then, like a couple of years ago, they start flying the aircraft with fireworks, with ground fireworks at the same time. It is a spectacle to be seen. And Saturday is the biggest event, so I would only recommend you get a chair up front as early as possible on Saturday and stay there and enjoy everything that's on the flight line. It is amazing.
Yep. Well, guys, again, go check out AirVenture. Go to the website, go to EAA's website, check that out. Find out what all the stuff is going on that you might be interested in. Get your tickets, go see it. It's going to be worth your while. We promise you that. And while you're there, you can go say hi to Mr. Lee Ray.
Yeah, if I'm not at the Blue Barn, which is where I like to be, I will be at the Pioneer Runway, and we'll have a blast. By the way, we have a lot of people with tools, supplies, battery chargers. We have electricity. We will be there to help you. So be there.
Yep. Well, Lee, let's talk about the Club of the Month for the month of July. I know that it's always an awesome part of the show when we get to talk about our Club of the Month. What do you got for this month on the Club of the Month?
Well, in Colorado, there's a little club called the Miniature Aero Squadrons. They're not a big club, but boy, they have a really cool looking runway, don't they? In the background there. And I will be honest with you guys, this club was chosen because they basically submitted their club for submission for Club of the Month. And so we gather those together, we look at them, and the fact is this is a really nice, decent club. They have an intro pilot program. They have an event or an open house every year that they fly out there. Again, the field is immaculate. I love how they state in their comments that they have a beautiful view of the Rocky Mountains, and they do. Now, I'm just showing you the runway here, but it looks like a really fun, close group, and I loved sharing that. I'm going to pull out this screen and show you the part that, you always like, because that's their website.
Heck yeah.
Give me a second here, because I got to share the screen. I got to switch screens. Sorry about that. But it's a very simple site. I love that they have their free logo, so they're free to go. They have a wonderful newsletter. So, guys, this is how you really learn what's happening with those clubs, what they're doing in there. And I don't know if I can scroll through here and you guys can see, but yeah, it shows their boards. It shows the activities that are going on, the last minutes of the meeting. Someone's playing. Sometimes it's the simple clubs that get things done, that keep people happy. Those are the clubs we need to celebrate. So congratulations, the Miniature Aero Sportsters in Colorado. Good job, and I'm looking forward to you guys sharing some more photos with us when the posts go up on social media.
Love their logo, too. They got a great logo. So this is a club that's been around since 1972, I believe it said. Again, it's always cool to see these clubs that have been able to stick around for as long as some of them have. So congratulations to this month's Club of the Month, the Miniature Aero Sportsters out in Colorado.
Let me just add one thing. If you go to modelaircraft.org/clubs, it'll redirect you to this page. This is our charter program, and it'll take you to the Club of the Month and so forth. But if you scroll down, guys, Club of the Month program, nominate a club for your consideration for Club of the Month. That's how you can add your club, or a club perhaps that you visited that you really like that you haven't seen us announce on Club of the Month. So again, modelaircraft.org/clubs.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the IFlyAMA cover photo contest. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. If you guys are not yet members of the IFlyAMA Facebook group, all you got to do is go to facebook.com/groups/IFlyAMA. I had to remember that. It's been a minute. And you go over there, click the join button. You have to answer a question and make sure that you're not a robot. Mr. Lee Ray will make sure that you're not a robot and let you in. But one of the cool things that we do in there every month is we swap out the cover photo for one of your submissions that are voted on in the pinned post up at the top. So, Lee, we've got a brand new cover photo for the month of July. What do we got? Who's the winner for this month?
Our buddy Bernie Figgins has won this month with his photo of his Zero. He writes, this is a Legend Hobby A6M Zero with an EME 60 engine with high-tech 645 MGs. He says it flies like it's on rails. He got a lot of compliments. I actually saw his post on his page, and he definitely likes his Zero, so I need to get him in touch with Fitz. You know, maybe because Fitz is a huge Zero fan too. But congratulations, Bernie. I'm glad that you won, and you've been very kind. We've been chatting with each other, and I had to make sure I pronounced his name right. It's Figgins. There's, I can tell you my name's been mispronounced too, even though it seems pretty simple. But thanks, Bernie, for correcting me, and congratulations on winning. And you're laughing, I know. But I also want to add, while he's laughing, I will show you with you guys how you can become a member. So let me share I got to stop screen. There we go. Share screen. It's crazy that they're all over the place. So this is the photo you look for when you go to our Facebook page, the IFlyAMA Facebook page. And if you look at the top there, it says, good luck for August, and submit, just add a comment, add your photo. And we've already had a lot of submissions already for this month, but I'm going to tack on that one right there. That one right there. Just putting that out there. Just note, hint. That's my son took this of his favorite icon UMX A5 icon, excuse me, and at the Funfly. That was the beautiful sunset we had Saturday night. So it was gorgeous out there. So.
That is a fantastic photo. I got to tell you though, he's got some competition. Just scrolling through there now, there are some really great photos submissions for this month.
Yeah. Well, Michael Rosnick right here, I'm not letting you win because you won before and everybody's seen your gorgeous 747. We know it's awesome. We put it on our Facebook page for RC Roundtable. But I'm looking forward to having the shuttle on the back of that. So when you put the shuttle on, maybe we'll re-talk about having a photo of the month.
I cannot wait for that to happen, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of great submissions so far. So guys, again, if you haven't joined, go to facebook.com/group/IFlyAMA. Do answer the questions because some people lately have just been bypassing it. We don't let you in through the door if you don't answer the questions. They're pretty simple. And start having fun because there are some great conversations in that group just to talk about all things model aviation.
Absolutely. Victor in the chat says that he feels like a robot. I think that's okay. You're allowed to feel like a robot as long as you're not actually a robot. Then you'll still be allowed in. It'll be fine. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of our show. We wanted to try to keep things a little short this week since it's a holiday week, and we wanted to get you guys out on your way. If you didn't get to enjoy fireworks last night, I hope you get to enjoy some tonight or later this weekend. I know here in Muncie the weather was a little iffy last night, so I think there's probably going to be a lot more fireworks today than there were yesterday, but that's all right. Lee, I know it's hot down there in Texas. Are you guys trying to stay safe? Are you keeping hydrated?
Oh my goodness! I know there are tons of places that are also experiencing a heat wave. So my PSA for all of you before we leave the show: stay hydrated. Put on your sunscreen. It's hot out there, folks. Take care of yourself so you can continue enjoying the hobby the next day.
Absolutely. Well, Lee, thank you so much for being here with me on another episode of AMA Air. And we want to thank all of you out there for watching. Those of you that watched live today, we thank you so much for joining us. And all of you watching after the fact, we thank you as well. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and share to all your friends and all of that fun stuff. That helps us out tremendously. And we want to thank you again for taking some time out of your day to join us for AMA Air. We hope to see you on the next episode coming up in another month. Until then, happy flying, and we'll see you all later.